Welcome to second episode of Cynical Analysis. This time I'm covering this match that G47Rush linked to me, and he was like, Cynic, I need some feedback. And I was, okay, sure. Send me a match that you want me to comment about. And he sent me two matches, one standard and one of them being this, and I liked this. I'm not gonna analyze a standard match, not at the moment, because I think I'm not that much qualified to give my opinion on a standard. I mean, it could be interesting, but I don't think it's as interesting as giving my opinion on something that I'm more expert about. I'm not gonna say I'm expert on fog, but for sure I know more about fog than standard. Anyways, this map is really interesting. I like a feature of this map, which is this infantry that can go this way and keep knowing about what you will in one of your bases, which is the most important one, because this base can go either way. You can go everywhere with this base, and with this base you can only reinforce this front or the middle, and with this property you can only reinforce this area. Yeah, you can reinforce this area with this base, but it's like, why would you do that if you can build it on here? So this is what in the base that gives the most information, because also if you want to make spam, is the closest property to the middle, because if you are gonna make a spam as Sammy on tier 4 on this map is maybe viable, you are gonna group it around this area, and the easiest way is to do it from this. But I don't think mega spam, I'm not gonna say mega spam, but more like 2, 3, maybe 4 mechs. Maybe 4 is too much already, but you know what I mean. More mechs than normal. Also, you want to cap this city, of course, as soon as possible, and then switch to get vision, or you can choose to stay here and deny this city as long as possible while getting vision of the airport, which is the most important thing. And I choose to normally to get vision of this, but many opponents I face, like Tordred, that I'm currently playing against in Global League, Lost and Found, how do you say it, Estepela, choose to stay here. And maybe it was dependent on some matches, because Estepela, for example, was Sammy, and if you as Sammy stay here, and I have not a strong infantry, I was, yes, on that match, I'm not gonna get this, because it's Souls versus City. Even though I get the first strike, he will get healed 2 HP, and he has 40 with the com tower firepower, and I have normal infantry because of the com tower instead of minus. So basically I will get destroyed. So I have to will a copter attack it, and then I will be able to cap it. Anyways, let's talk about the CS choices for a second. This match was tier 2, and my main rush chose Olaf, which I think is a really solid option, and the opponent chose Kindle. I mean, Kindle on this map looks quite strong. There is even labs. There is a lot of properties, concentration. If you look at this, look how close each property is of each other, but I don't think it's enough to justify Kindle on tier 2, because Kindle is justified on tier 2 in some maps, for example Caustic Finale, but I don't think she is justified on this map. Anyways, let's just straight jump to the match, and that's it. Okay, I have not looked at this match very in depth. I just look at it and say, okay, it has enough amount of turns. It doesn't look too Yankee, so I think it's a good match for my boy Rush to get feedback. My man Rush is fairly also a new player as well as Mobert, and I think he will appreciate to get feedback from this match. Okay, right now he is moving this infantry and skipping this property. He might be aiming to cap one of these properties. If he goes for this one, I don't think it's justified, because this one is not as contested. I mean, it's not super secure, but I don't think it's that contested to justify a base as a property skip. These two are more contested, but they are not within range of this turn, so I'm not sure about that one. Kindle goes for recon and then tank. I don't like it. I would rather go more infantry on early game and then I go tank and recon, because this recon is not gonna do anything important that needs immediate attention, but she opted to do that. Okay, and Kindle goes for artillery with, oh my, Rush cap the lap. Okay, the laps don't give anything, so don't cap them. That's fine. Probably Rus didn't know about it. There are some instances where laps are useful. Maybe this map is one of them. I don't think so. No, it's not. Let me check real quick. No, it's not useful, because in some maps, in some settings in Global Lake, there are some units lap, and that means that they are banned unless you capture a lap. But this is not the case, and you can check that in the settings of the map. So make sure to look at that before deciding to cap a lap, because it gives nothing. It gives no income, it gives no more defense, it gives no repairs. The only thing that gives is vision on top of the lap. So now you will have vision of any enemy unit that stays here always. But I don't think it's a justification to do it. Anyways. Okay, I like this placement for the recon. I think it's a really good one, because you get vision of this property and the middle, and you are on a forest, so you are not probably getting one shot by a tank, and you also need 2 units to get attack. And if you don't get one shot on a forest, you need 3 units to die in one turn. 1 to discover you, the first attack, and the second attack. And yeah, maybe it's plausible to get attack from these 2 tiles, but getting a 3rd unit onto this area, apart that is really risky, because it will get attacked by anything that enemy has. It's not likely, because it's so far away on this early game. Anyways, Kindle goes for a copter, and Russ had already an anti-air. Like, my boy Russ bought an anti-air before knowing that a copter was coming. It's risky, but I think it's not a bad idea. And my boy Russ buys another anti-air. I think that is not as much as justified as the early anti-air, because you already have one. But maybe he was really scared. of the copter, and the copter goes and attacks the infantry on the city. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a way to do it. Yeah, for sure. The anti-air goes this way. The tank attack this infantry, capping this property, which is a very contested property, but I think it belongs more to this player. And the mirrored one, which is this one, belongs more to this player, even though it's a contested one. So it can go either way depending on who is going stronger on this area. Because your strong front is this area with these two bases, and your weak front is this. So yeah, even though I think I said this is a property belonging more to Rush, having this area more influence because it's your supposed strong side might end up giving this the edge enough to cap this property. But it's really depending on what are the plans for your game. So right now, Kindle keeps capping here, which I think it's a good idea if you have backup. But if you have only one tank against what you see that is one tank, one anti-air, probably many infantry, I don't think it's a good idea to keep capping. You should retreat and wait for your reinforcements. This is a really bad idea. Because right now, these two infantries will die and you will have nothing to do against it. Because you will not even have vision. Okay, you can sack another infantry to get vision and attack the tank, but then your tank will get a counter in the next turn by the tank and finish by the anti-air. Because anti-air, even though it loses very hard against other tanks, it deals a pretty decent amount of damage against them. And also my Boras is gonna copy the copter strategy, because you are not dislocating this infantry with an Olaf infantry from assault, because this infantry is really strong right now because it's a Kindle infantry. This infantry right now is stronger than a Kanbei infantry. It has 40 firepower plus 10, 50 plus 30 defense from the city. So now that infantry is super strong. And Kindle is smart and move the infantry away from the city, so now the copter cannot attack it. And Rush kills the infantry that goes on the forest with the tank, which is really a bad idea to position your tank here, because your tanks are not covering each other, my man. You want your tanks covering each other, because if your opponent gets vision of these two tanks, he will see that he can attack this tank without support of this tank from this tile. So now this tank, if he gets vision of this tail, will attack from this, and it will be a free shot. Like a free shot, I guarantee you. And Rush goes double tank, one of the weak side and one of the on the middle base. Okay, I don't know what is Kindle. Okay, now I was worrying about this mech not getting boosted, but instead, I mean, it didn't get boosted. Like this copter, yeah, the mech still moved too. I don't like this these many artilleries. I like this artillery, which is really protecting this tank right now, but I really dislike another artillery. Not in the same front, at least. Because you are Kindle, and you want to play aggressively. Because Kindle is actually really strong to get advantage in the early stage of a match, but she falls off really easily because she has not a power that will help her to end up matches. Like Olaf has snow and global damage, Match has extra movement and firepower, Other can spam the movement. Well, Other is not a good example, but for example, Jake has the +2 movement on vehicles and huge firepower on planes. I don't know, Sammy has the Victory March, which is really threatening. Almost every CO has a power that can make them decide a match, but Kindle lacks that. Yeah, she has a high society, but high society, it's first map dependent, and second, it's not that strong. It's not that strong unless there is a lot of properties to secure a lot of one-hit KOs. It's not that strong. You will rather get the Urban Blight or the threat of Urban Blight. And my boy Kindle is spamming mechs, which I don't think it's a really good idea. I mean, if it's just 2 mechs, okay. But I have a feeling that she's gonna do more than 2 mechs because she's doing mechs over mechs over mechs. And right now, and right here, Rush showed the artillery with both tanks and still decided to finish the tank with the anti-air, which is a really huge mistake because you only have 1 anti-air. It's really unlikely that you will have 2 anti-airs on the same front. Yes, you have 2 anti-airs, which are really good, but I don't think it's... I think it's overkill, but okay, it's the safest choice. But the artillery will shoot the anti-air, and now this anti-air can stop this copter, and now this copter will kill everything around this area until you bring a copter or an anti-air. So, yeah, don't sack your anti-airs. Your anti-airs want to stay safe, man. They are the backup of your army. Look how Kindle is protecting this anti-air. And right now, Kindle is really aware that she cannot go farther than this area because she will get into Olaf territory. And you don't want to fight with that. And Rush didn't go for this. So right now, this infantry is having a really good time because this infantry is getting vision of the airport, securing this city. You have to deal with that. Anyways, Rush doesn't care and keeps going straight to the artillery range, which is really painful to watch. If you are playing on fog and you spot an indirect, what you want to do is move away from that indirect and attack in other area. Because that indirect is slower than tanks and cannot shoot and move on the same turn. Tanks are faster and can move and shoot on the same turn. So at least you will have 1 turn of advantage against the artillery. Anyways, now he has the anti-air prepared to protect the tank and the infantry, but still, this is not a good place to be because right now the copter can keep... You don't want to stay on artillery range, and this cap is really dubious because you have no vision. Right now, yeah, you see a mech, you see infantry, you see an artillery here, copter here, but... Oh, yeah, you have this infantry here. Why do you do that? I mean, you don't see any tanks, but it's not like you are being way too reckless without the necessary backup. Anyways, copter on copter. Oh. Urban Blight. Boom. Boom. This was a mistake in my opinion. She should have get vision of this infantry with this anti-air and then kill it. Maybe not kill it, but really cripple. And nah, no, I didn't say anything. Anyways, right now Rush is getting punished for pushing here without any backup. Look, he has a couple of tanks around the area and a couple of infantries and sorry. Okay, you kill the copter that did a lot of job, a lot of work. Okay, you attack the mech, good. Destroy the tank. Cheap damage the artillery. Attack the anti-air, but you are going into artillery range that you spotted the last turn, and you know there was an artillery around the vicinity, so you should have been more cautious. And it's not like this anti-air is super important right now. Why is it? Because this anti-air is against no copters, so you would rather to save your tank, because this tank will die next turn. This artillery will one-shot it for sure, because it's on a property and it's Kindle. And yeah, you don't want to take this engagement. You don't want to stay adjacent to cities versus Kindle, because you will get really hard. Anyways, boom, bye bye tank, boom, boom. Oof. Yeah, it's okay. Repairs the tank, kills. Look at that! Look at that! Oh, joins a unit. What the hell? I don't think that joining that unit was a good idea. But Kindle did it and joins another unit. What the? What? I mean, okay. It's a good idea. Against Olaf oncoming superpower. So instead of getting 4 global damage, 2 per 2, Kindle will get only 2 per unit with 4 infantry. So I think it's a smart move, and she also get funds from the extra value of the infantries, which can be up to 1k of funds, which is, I mean, it's something that will that will help. Okay. I don't think you should keep going into this area with this artillery right here. I don't think it's a good idea. Kills this recon, good. Okay. Boom. Rush, at this moment you should have known that there was an artillery here destroying all your units. Stop going into indirect range. Please. No, you have to check the replay. And you know where are the units that shoot you before. And you have to stop going there. Because you will get destroyed if you don't pay attention. Anyways, this tank, it's nice here because yes, maybe it will die to this or this anti-air, but the thing is that Kindle wants the enemy to attack into this area, because this copter, well, not next turn, because there is not this turn, but next turn there will be no snow, and we'll be able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no, but it will be able to go from this area if these tiles are empty, and attack if you attack from here or here. So, and you don't see it coming. It's not like you will be able to prevent it. Right now, Kindle is chilling on her half of the map, because Kindle is not capping any properties. Kindle is just mid-grinding Rush, who is just charging into like a kamikaze into the death. You should not do that. In this matchup, in my honest opinion, you should be stalling. Okay, how do you call it? Identify the properties that belong to you and keep them till build up. Don't get destroyed by urban blight, don't get destroyed by staying next to cities, and eventually you will win against Kindle, because you will do a lot of damage with a Winter Fury. Like, look at now. Right now, a Winter Fury, even though you were so behind, changed the map so much. Like, right now, it seems like you are maybe even. And I don't like this unit count, unit join here. I don't like it. Urban Blight again, which is good. Just keep hearting Olaf, but I think you could use that Urban Blight to spot some units that are on cities, destroy these units and cap the city then, and be more proactive with it than just passively using your power on timer. I don't know what's Rus planning with this infantry. Probably blocking this choke point, but you know there is artillery here, and this artillery with an infantry will be able to hit KO this infantry. So I don't know what's the plan. Okay, you attack on tank while Kindle has a superpower activated. A power. I don't think that's a good idea, because you lose a lot of HP. Look at this engagement. You did 4 damage and lose 4 HP, and this will get HP recover and then attack and probably leave this tank really injured. Anyways, Rus keeps going recklessly, in my opinion. Look, yes. Boom. Boom. So, yeah, right now, Kindle is going a bit too much onto defensive. And Rush is able to get some kills, but Kindle changed the position of this artillery into the forest, and now she is protecting a lot of important spots. Like, look, all of these tails. Boom, 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 boom. Practically all of the middle is protected by this artillery, which is really good. Boom, 1 tank dead. Artillery onto the city to cover this tank, to get repairs. Boom, boom, a lot of kills happening right now. This is really devastating. And Kindle is, I think she is feeling like, okay, now I got a lot of kills. I see no one around this area. I will start capping maybe these properties. And yeah, Russ keeps going into the defensive. Like, he is not caring about the artillery that might be here. He is not caring attacking into cities. It's really worrying in my opinion. And charged with this infantry here, I don't know why. You should keep that infantry in the forest, get vision, and yeah, control the forest. You have to love your units. Anyways, Kindle gets this cap finally, so Kindle now is ahead on income. Boom. Boom. Yeah, this is a massacre right now. And now this artillery can be placed on this forest. He didn't even know it, because he has no vision of this tail. Maybe this is too much, in my opinion. This tank going here was not necessary. She should have stayed a little away from this tail, because this tanks from this base and this base will be here or here. And if they are here or here, they are probably here because they are planning to go this way. And if they are here, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you don't want to place any tank around this area or will get first strike. So you want to place your tanks away from this area. This cease movement. Counting the forest as 5 from here. So you want to, for example, go this tank, attack this copter, finish it, whatever, but not in range of the upcoming tank. Anyways, Rus spot this infantry trying to sneak onto his property, and he has to sacrifice one tank to kill. He tries to do damage to the anti-air. He's not able to. Starts capping this property, which I think is, I mean, it's not as crazy as some other caps I have seen on this game, but you know, there is at least one infantry here and one copter here, and it's not like you have a lot of units to back up. But I mean, it's fair. It's not a cap that I would try, but it's not a silly cap. But it gets interrupted anyways. Kindle once again stays on her territory. She's right now in a very good spot. Even this engagement, I think, is fair. But if you think about it for 2 seconds, you know, this tank will get 2 shot, and then this property will get controlled by Rush again. So this is a bit risky, and you don't have backup to support this tank. So no, I don't think it's fair. Okay, Rush keeps capping, gets some kills. I don't like this anti-air attacking to infantry. Anti-air is to kill copters. And then if there is no copter, or if this anti-air is safe to attack an infantry or whatever, you can maybe attack the infantry, but your priority with your anti-air is to keep your vehicles safe from copter attack, and on the second hand, bomber attack. And this infantry going here, what is this? Maybe here there is an argument, because now you will protect a tile for these 2 vehicles, but here this infantry is completely exposed with 3 tiles of attacking it. So no, I don't think this artillery should have been on this forest, or maybe here, but I don't think that is even a good option. So don't get with your infantry to get shoot, because infantry is really easy to kill. Okay, the cap gets stopped, the infantry dies, the anti-air dies. Yeah, at this point, I don't think Rush 100% lost at this moment. I think Rush has a way to combat this, but the problem is that he needs to play smart to do that, and he's not loving his units. Like, look at this. You're sacrificing a unit. Okay, you get a shoot at a tank with your copter, but this copter is really likely to die next turn. I mean, he's doing one thing right, which is attacking into his strong area, maybe a bit too far in, taking into account that there is artillery control of the area, you are behind, and yeah, basically that you are behind. You don't want to keep doing trades while being behind. Anyways, one shot on the anti-air with the medium tank. The copter got shot by another copter, so now this push got totally crippled. This, I don't like this at all. What is this artillery doing right here? It will get, you are not protecting this cap, which is what you want to do. You will protect this cap by attacking anything but you will get easily spotted. It's too reckless for my taste. It might work because right now I think Kindle is not playing the board, like playing the match properly, but more thinking about playing the player. And I think Kindle thinks that Rush is not being very careful with artillery, so she is being very greedy with the artillery position. And Kindle wants to capitalize on that. And yeah, she's gonna get a free shot because Rush is not respecting. Rush is going strong on the weak side, going strong on the strong side. He just got crippled here. He's gonna charge here. He is not regrouping. Like, yeah. And Rush buys fighter, which I think is not justified against copters, because an anti-air will do the job, and what you need to do is to keep your anti-air alive. But at this moment, maybe, but what you need is also vehicle count, and this turn you added 0 to your vehicle count, so if you will an anti-air, you can build a copter or a tank, so I would rather go for an anti-air. Anyways, Urban Blight goes, and now Rush will pay 4,000 extra for this fighter, which is gonna be painful, and it's not gonna be even on full HP, which is fine because a fighter doesn't need to be full HP to do its job. It can do its job slightly injured. With good firepower, it can do its job quite injured. like I think it's one shots with 6 HP copters if you have some firepower, for example in superpower of Andy. Anyways, yeah, I think at this moment Ross is getting overwhelmed. He has not many vehicles left. He's getting pushed into his territory. He's gonna start losing a lot of properties. Yeah, look at this. And if you want to stop these two, you will have to sack your medium tank here. You will have to sack this infantry here. So it's not gonna be pretty if you try to stop those. Kindle gets control of the cities. So right now, you don't want to stay adjacent to this city. You don't want that at all. And also Kindle is aiming for the com tower because right now Ross is so behind in unit count that Kindle is able to control so many areas, and she even blocked that medium tank from stopping any of these caps, which I think is not a good idea because you want that medium tank to stop these caps. So now you kill and you destroy it with your artillery and maybe cheap damage with a copter that you can place around this area perfectly, and just buy the medium tank and is one thing less. But I don't think that was a good idea to block with 1 HP infantry. You could have placed the 1 HP infantry here and maybe trap the medium tank so it doesn't stop the cap here. But anyways, Urban Blight again. Oh, that medium tank adjacent to the city. Joining infantries. I don't like that. You are winning because you are overwhelming your opponent with unit count. Don't join cap unless it's necessary, and I don't think it is. And moves the transport copter here, I guess, to push this infantry next door. I could have moved it from here to here because this infantry will already be closer than this. Okay. Rush doesn't care about the artillery. He will just stop these caps from happening, that he won't even able to do that. He might stop this, probably, yeah. But he's bleeding a lot of units, and even though he is playing so recklessly, he's not that behind. Look at the value. Look at the value, and he still look. He's not that behind on value. He basically skipped this turn to get a copter and tank, which I don't think is justified because you want to have as many units as possible. I think the copter build is good, but yeah, at this point you have to choose your poison. And Kindle keeps joining units. I don't like that at all. Please stop doing that. Like right now, Kindle lost 3 HP infantry to gain 300 funds and gain nothing out of it because this infantry was full HP. And if it was not full HP, you can place it here and it will get healed by 200 funds. So, come on. What is the medium tank doing? What is why it didn't attack the infantry. Anyways, joins cap. I don't think it's a good idea, because you could have like 40 units right now instead of 31 with so many joins that you did. And that medium tank got destroyed. Like, come on. Rus is losing, but he is having some units left. You have to respect that. You are fighting into the belly of the monster. You are not gonna have a good time. And I think this is a good idea to keep spamming copters, so you keep adding more unit count. Okay. Now Rush has no medium tanks, and it's not like you can repair units against Kindle, which is really annoying. And now Kindle just went triple anti-air, which, I mean, you see that he's building a lot of copters, so maybe it's justified, but I think you don't have a counter to that fighter. But I think 2 anti-airs is good enough. Anyways, this map is already at day 25 and it's still going. My boy Rush is not giving up. Urban Blight, that fighter has 6 HP now, which can be problematic, because I don't think it one-shots now without being on a power. And another thing is that 3 HP of damage of the fighter, that is a very valuable unit, won't count into the bar, the power charge. So that's 6,000 charge that you are denying to your opponent with global damage. Kindle is almost double unit count right now. I don't know why Rush ignored this property all the time. Like, yeah, you can not get it early and try to get advantage with double tank and get control of the area, but you eventually need to capture this with a copter, with whatever you have to do, but you eventually have to capture this, because if you don't, your opponent will have this property and this property, and that's 4,000 of income on top of you, which is a big deal. Right now this is a really deadly position, because right now, how are you gonna stop these caps from happening without getting shot by your artillery or sacking more units from here that you cannot sacrifice because you already have so little? And Kindle is being quite patient. She's not rushing into Rush territory, and Rush, yeah, he was looking at this. I'm gonna lose more properties. I'm already super behind on income. I have almost no tanks left. Like, look, the only tanks and vehicles I have left are these 2 that just went out of the base. This one is really injured. I have 1 copter here, but there is an anti-air prepared. It was really hopeless. I think the biggest mistake that Rush did is not respecting the opponent's side of the board, not checking the replay to see the indirects, keep going into indirect range, not knowing what you have to do in the matchup. Like, for example, you are Olaf, you want to stall you know you are playing against Kindle, which is not strong in the later game, because she has not a way to end the game. If you have two big armies fighting against each other, Urban Blight won't do that much. Will help to wall break, but that's it. And the high society in this map is not that strong because there is not many cities. So you actually want to stall. You have to know the map, know the matchup. Don't sack your units. Try to save as many units as possible. Yeah, there are a lot of mistakes here, but that's good because we can point out all of them. So don't feel about your defeat, Rush, because I think you have a lot of juice to suck up and get stronger with it. If I make myself clear. Yeah. Anyways, that's enough for today, and thank you so much for watching this video, and see you later, guys. Peace.